Author 456. In this video, we are going to continue reading the book Race Against Time by Geronimo Stilton. So let's get started. A truly terrible concoction. I followed Trap down the dark alley behind Singing Stone Plaza. He lifted the rickety gate of an abandoned garage. "Here's my secret laboratory," he squeaked proudly. Apparently, Trap had gotten it into his snout that he would become an inventor and scientist just like a friend, Professor Von Volch. I tried to squeak, but he cut me off. "Jim Weiser, just look at what your cousin has become. You didn't expect this, did you? I'm gonna be rich, super rich, the richest." I was a little irritated. The goal of science is not to get rich. But before I could say a word, he shoved a mug filled with horrible stinky solution onto my snout. "Come on, drink it! For the love of science!" he cried. "Someone needs to try my amazing invention. I can sell it. I can't sell it like this. What if it made someone sick?" Now I was madder than a cat with a bad case of fleas. What? Why me? Why am I the only one who has to be a lab rat? Who knows what you put in here? What happens if I get sick? But Trap continued to insist. "Don't turn this into a big deal. Just drink it, Jerkins." That's when I lost it. "That's enough. I'll tell you one last time. My name is Geronimo. Got it? Geronimo!" But when I opened my snout to shout, my cousin plugged my nose and poured the stinky solution down my throat. Ack! It was horrible. For a moment I was still stammered. Then I stammered, "No, what's going to happen to me?" "Well, actually, I don't know," my cousin said. Admitted. "That's why I had you drink it. It could make your fur grow, or give you green pimples, or heal your calluses, or maybe it will cure your craving for cheddar cheese." Wait, I yelled. "You mean to tell me that you don't know what effects this concoction will have? Well, at least you know what you put in it, right?" Trap shrugged. "A bit of this, a bit of that." Now I was really frustrated. "So you don't know what you put in it, but you really think you have a future as a scientist?" Suddenly, I felt a belch rising from deep in my belly. Brr! My stomach began to gurgle, and the snout began to itch. A science experiment, almost. I ran to look at myself in the mirror. Then I let out a desperate squeak. My snout was covered in green pimples. "Look what you've done with your science experiment," I protested, scratching furiously. "My snout is bumpier than blue cheese." There was only one thing to do. I got out of there before Trap tried to make me run through a maze or something. I called a taxi and went straight to the Rodin's Gazette. There I shut myself in my my office and told my assistant that I didn't want to see anyone. My assistant took pity on me. She scurried out to buy me a cream that slowly but surely made the pimples disappear. I breathed a sigh of relief. Then there was a knock at the door, and the nephew Benjamin peeked in. Uncle G, can I come in? Of course, my dear Benjamin. You can come visit me whenever you want, I replied. Trap called me, Benjamin explained. He said he wanted to apologize to you. I shook my snout. This time he's gone too far. He thinks he's a scientist, but he's just a troublemaker. Look at me. My snout is greener than mold on Egypt cheddar. And it's all because of his crazy experiments. You're right. Trap should take some classes from Professor Van Volt. Now he's a good scientist, Benjamin said. What a great idea, Benjamin, I replied. I pulled out my cell phone and sent the professor a text on his private, super secret phone line. Dear Professor, I need your help. Trap is using me as a lab rat in his crazy science experiments. YDFGS, which means your dear friend Geronimus Chechen. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Professor Von Wulch. We planned to meet that evening at the base of the Cheddar Crag. The message said, come right away, we will get Trap's lessons from the great masters of the past. I understood immediately. The professor was ready for a new journey through time. I couldn't wait. What eras would he travel through this time? Cheddar Crag is the tallest mountain on Mars Island. It is in the Nature Reserve Park, just a few miles northeast of New York City. Professor Von Volt's secret. I called Thea and Trap. Benjamin invited his friend Bugsy Wugsy to join us, but he warned her not to tell anyone about it. This wasn't like other adventures we went on. It was a secret mission. By the time we arrived at the base of the mountain, it was already dark outside. Before us was the entrance to an old gold mine. Thea and Bugsy were chatting about Thea's new beaded jeans when I spotted the shadow of my friend Professor Von Volt. He signaled us to keep our snouts down, squeaks down. Quite a smile, we followed him into the tunnel and boarded an old mine wagon. They zoomed down the tracks into the heart of the mountain. Then we got in a crystal elevator that took us even further down. When the elevator opened, we found ourselves in front of a metal door painted yellow. There was a red and white sign hanging by the door. Below it was a panel filled with strange and mysterious instruments. The panel read, access prohibited. Entrance for authorized personnel only. And now, friends, please take a moment to appreciate my special security system, the professor said. I'm the only one who can open the door. The system is trained to recognize me. Prepare for scan, a robotic voice said. The professor put his eyes up to a camera that scanned his retinas. Then he placed his right paw on a plate which scanned his paw print. Then finally, a strange-looking gadget pulled out one of his whiskers, examined it, and identified his DNA. That is the professor's genetic code, which is unique for every living being. Recognition completed, the robotic voice said. Your paws Von Volt. Welcome back, Professor. There was a whistle and a clank, and then the doors slid open, revealing Professor Von Wohl's super secret laboratory. We scampered into the room. The laboratory was full of strange, buzzing machinery. Professor, what machine will be used to travel this time? I asked. Well, here's my latest invention, the professor said proudly. It's over here. He led us to a far corner of the laboratory, pushed a button, and the strange round door lifted up from the ground. It was surrounded by 2 titanium rings, and it was vibrating like a living thing. I put my ear near it and let out a soft, very soft buzz. Bzzz. Inside there was a weird, transparent material like crystal. I pressed it with my paw. It was as soft and smooth as cream cheese. I'm pleased to present to you my new invention, Professor Von Wall said solemnly. This time you won't need a machine to travel. Just cross through this portal, the Paw Pro portal. This is the Paw Pro portal. That's cooler than ice cream, Benjamin said. When we arrived in Pash, won't this machine be a bit bulky? How will we hide it? I asked. Good question, Professor replies. You won't need to hide it. The portal will blend into the environment you land in. It can camouflage itself like a chameleon. Wow, tell us how it works, Bugsy said. Just a moment. First, I'd like to say something to Trap, Professor Von Wohl said. He looked at my cousin Sean in the eye. Trap, if you want to become a real scientist, you must follow the scientific methods, not try things at random. Trap looked offended. I didn't do things at random, Professor. I create. Plus, it was no big deal. It was just a few green pimples on Jerry's nose. You didn't have to make a mountain out of a cheese hill. It was just a little experiment, you understand, right? Professor said severely. No, Trap, I don't understand. I repeat, a scientist must follow the rules of the scientific method. You make a hypothesis, you prove it by doing a series of experiments, you use precise measurements, you check the results, and then form your conclusions. What a lot of rubbish, Trap snorted. I bet Leonardo da Vinci didn't touch a portal with a bunch of doubters like you. He just invented brilliant things and everyone thought he was a rat's whisker. The professor raised an eyebrow. Leonardo da Vinci? You say? Well, why don't you ask him? We'll meet him on your next journey through time.